Alright, so this is my Draw My Life video, and this is a pretty popular video, and I thought I would do it, and it's super easy to edit, and my editor is acting up, so I figured I would do this. So on September 24th of 1996, and I go out of frame a bit, but my mom had me, and I was like, hello world, and my name is Dakota Alexis, and my name was going to be Alexis, but you know, whatever. Anyway, at 9 months, my mom and dad were not working out, and my dad was out of the picture and really wasn't in my life very much. He was in and out all the time. But 4 years later, my mom married this guy named Jason, and we thought we were going to be a big, happy family. They got married, and I don't know, I didn't really like him, but we were a big, happy family, so that's how it was. And he was really, really abusive. He would choke and beat and try to kill my mom. And so finally someone saw the bruises and they reported it. So it was just me and my mom. And, you know, it was okay because I love it just being her and I. So in kindergarten, I remember I went to, obviously it's a new school, you know, I just moved there. And I started a little bit later than everybody else. But I loved my teacher and I loved it. But in first grade, I was a bad kid. We had like these rewards where we would get to watch a movie, and I remember they were watching Bambi, and I had to sit in the hall and write sentences about how bad I was with all the other bad kids. But it's okay, you know, whatever. So I had a friend named Jada, and she was like my best friend in first grade, and I was like, we should run away, and she was like, sure. So we got on our bikes and we took our Play-Doh map, and we put my cat in my backpack. His head was out, it's okay. But we decided to run away, and we got to this gas station, and then we were like, we should probably come back. So we got busted. But in second grade, I was watching cartoons, and I heard a knock at the door, so I answered the door, and it was some cops. And they asked me to get my mom, and they basically said I had to go with my dad, and my mom told me that I had to leave or she was basically going to get arrested and they were going to take me anyway. So I went to my dad's house, and I hated it there, and he basically told me I was never going to see my mom again. Well, 7 days later, we went to court, and my mom got custody back, and I was so happy. I didn't even say goodbye to my dad. I was hugging my mom, and I missed her so much. My dad and his girlfriend were not very happy, which they did get married. And my mom got me a hamster named Oreo, which she swore she would never do. And I was never the same kid. I wasn't as happy as I used to be. It just, like, I guess it changed me. But yeah, so in fourth grade I had this evil teacher, and she was like devil teacher. But at my dad's, this boy took me into the woods and molested me, and my mom found out about it. And my dad testified against me in court and said I was a liar. And yeah, so the guy ended up having to move to Texas at his mom's house, so he was gone. But in fifth grade, my dad basically, I left and he took me home, and I hadn't ever seen him since. And in middle school, I was really, really nervous, but I played the flute, and I was a band geek. And yeah, I was one of those, but I was really nervous, but it was okay. And in seventh grade, I remember I had a best friend that I met on the bus at like the end of the year, and her name was Taya. And seriously, like, we were best friends when we lived close to each other, so it was okay. But she got on my Facebook and hacked it, and I still don't know how she got my password, but yeah. And so we were BFFs no more. In the summer of '09, I didn't write it, but I was hanging out with my best friend Abby a lot, like the whole summer. And I had my first boyfriend named Ethan, and we had a first kiss. And when we got broken up, my mom got me Dairy Queen, and I thought my life was over. In 8th grade, I went to a private school, and I didn't know anyone there, and all these people like had their own cliques, and I was just kind of left out. And this girl, we'll just call her B, she hated me so much, thought I would steal all of her friends, and I really just wanted to be friends. And she put a tack on my chair and stole my books, and it was just not fun. But I did make a ton of friends named Meredith and Katie and Hannah and Caitlin, and I seriously loved them to pieces. And they were a year or two younger than me. And in Chicago, Meredith and I went on a mission trip, and I met like the best people I've ever met. And I met Bethany and Katie and Christina, and I still am friends with them on Facebook. I just haven't been back to the mission trip, but I miss them so much. And in 9th grade, I went to a private high school, and I made my friend Brooke in my homeroom, and we were BFFs instantly. And so I met Shy and Amanda and Catherine, and I had all them, and I was friends with Amy, and I was bullied, and I really hated myself, and I was bullied for dating in. And yeah, so October 9th I started dating in, and he was my homecoming date, and 8 months later we broke up. It was really mutual, and we really didn't want to date each other anymore. And then I dated this guy named called B for 2 months, and in 10th grade I started texting this guy named John, and I really liked him, and he picked me up for his church, and I was like over the moon, wanted to date him. I was like thinking I was going to marry him, and he was interested in someone he was in love with, and so he was like, let's just be friends. And so I was really sad that he had to leave one day, and he said, hey, you should talk to this guy named Tony that I was texting but not interested in. So we started Skyping, and we'd have Skype dates, and I said I liked you. So October 22nd of 2012, we went on our first date with his parents and stuff, and he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes. And October 31st, he turned 17, and we went to like a haunted house and everything. It was awesome. And sometime in November, my friend Brooke dyed her hair the way I planned to dye my hair, and I was like, I'm going to dye it that color anyway, and we didn't become friends anymore. So Amy and Annie were my friends that I kind of readopted. And in December, I had a dance I went to with Tony, and it was really, really fun. And yeah, so then Christmas, he got me this sweater that I really, really wanted, and it was my first Christmas with him. It was amazing. And January 3rd, he got his license, but I also started getting these headaches, and I had them constantly for 12 days. And so finally my doctor made me go to the ER, and they gave me my first IV, which didn't really hurt, but then the doctor wanted to give me a spinal tap to see if I had meningitis, which I didn't, luckily. But the spinal tap had a huge needle that went in my back, and it was really, really bad. I hated it. They had to hold me down and stuff, and I started getting spinal tap headaches that lasted 10 days. And I went to the doctor, and they tested me for mono, and I had it. So I was really upset because I slept all the time, so my grades started slipping. I wasn't at school as much, and these two girls and their friend, one of my other friends, decided they were going to be rude to me and say mean things, and so high school wasn't an option for me because I had mono, they were bullying, hated it, and I had bad grades and stuff, so I decided to do a correspondence school for the rest of my sophomore year, and I love it. And in April, I started getting treatment for my dog, Sappho, who has heartworms, and then prom came up, and prom was amazing. It was seriously the best night of my life, and like, you don't realize how much you love someone until you like get to experience it. It was amazing. And now, well, I love my life, and it's amazing. I have the best friends anyone could ever ask for, oh my gosh. And I love Tony with all my heart, and he's a guy that I plan to spend my life with. Next year I'm going to a public high school as well. And YouTube, well, that is a big thing. I have 30 plus subscribers, which is amazing, and I love you guys to pieces. You guys, like, the messages I get in the comments are awesome, so I love it. And is this the end? No, it's not. This is kind of cheesy, but this is where my story begins. I mean, it's just beginning. It's not over. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, love you guys. Bye!